Well, hey family, this is Darlene. Want to thank you for stopping by the Jury by BDK YouTube channel. I know you didn't come here for a sermon. So here's the video. And guess what? We'll talk. Well, hey family, happy Tuesday. This is Darlene stopping by. Look, real quick, let's make something pretty using one of my tornado beads. And then we're going to use some of these beads. I painted last night. And these beads I painted using some of that metallic paint that I got, so you can kind of see the shine on them. I did pull a light sealant on them, so they came out looking pretty good. I think they're pretty. Some pretty beads. And then we got some leftover beads, these right here. We might use these for a second bracelet, not really sure. We'll see what happens, but the focal is going to be this big aluminum wire tornado bead, and there is a video on here to show you how to make these. So we're going to do this, and we are going to find, let's go with some matching beads, like the smaller beads to get started. These are 8mm, and I'm going to put, I think these are 8mm. I'm going to put these on first because I want, you see how it's kind of open right there? So I need a round bead to lay against that part like that. So what happens is it will allow the rest of the beads to just kind of move. And because sometimes you can put a bead, let me show you, because sometimes you can put a bead right there, and instead of let's see what I got up here. Some of everything, Darlene. You know you got some of everything up here. I know. Let's try like one of these. Well, even if I try with a bigger bead, let's try a bigger bead first. So if I do a bigger bead, and once I put all the beads on, what's going to happen is, because you know the bracelet has to kind of round off, right? But once all the beads are on, this is what's going to happen. You see the bead on this side? That kind of opens up. But if I put a bead, a smaller bead on this side, where my next bead can kind of ride on that one and then follow the direction of that round bead, you see? So there's nothing open on this side because I have that smaller bead right there. But on this side, where I just have the bigger bead, and you see how the bracelet has to, you know, round, it has to be round because it's a bracelet. But right there at the top, you can see that. Right here at the top of this one, you can see that little open, and I don't like that. You know, some people may like it, but I don't like the way that looks. To me, it just looks tacky. So I always try to put like a little small bead, and you can see the difference on the side with the small bead versus not putting anything over there at all. And this is basically what it looks like. So what we're going to do, we're going to take this big bead off, and we're going to go ahead and put another small bead on here. And then we will put another one of the beads we painted last night. And I'll show you how nicely they lay together. So you can see how nice that looks. And we can turn it into a bracelet. So I think I'll just go ahead and keep putting these little lavender beads on here. Let's just do that. And then we can maybe make another bracelet to go with it, sister bracelet. Somebody was asking me if I can, one of the videos I put up with, I think it was the stain beads, was asking me if I can, you know, like do the video without music. Sometimes the videos are going to be without music because I'm just doing something that I can't record and play what's playing in the background on the video because it'll give me a copyright strike. And I am making a video at a time where I can actually make a video. You know, I'm in the mood to create. It's a good time to create and all that kind of stuff. And all I was basically doing was just beading. So if I'm making a bracelet, all I'm basically saying, not unless I'm having some type of conversation or just kind of talking, you know, in the video about something, you know, but usually if it's just music, I'm not talking. Sometimes I just don't feel like talking, and I think everybody gets like that. Sometimes you just don't feel like talking. Sometimes you don't even want to do a video. You know, you want to create, but you don't even want to turn the camera on. I know I get like that sometimes. I don't know about everybody else, but there could be times, a couple of days, I don't record a video, but that don't mean that I'm not creating. So I could be creating and not record anything. And then sometime when I finish, I'll be like, man, I should have just went ahead and recorded that. But sometimes you just don't feel like talking. And if it's something that really needs to be explained, like if that's like with the tornado beads, like something really, really needed to be explained, I think I do pretty good as far as, like recording and then talking through the video. But if I'm basically just making a bracelet like what I just did right now, all I'm doing is stringing the beads on a piece of cord. That's all I'm doing. I'm not doing anything special. And a large percentage of the videos, the beads that you will see me use, especially if they're the bigger beads like this, 15 millimeter, 20 millimeter, 25, 30 millimeter beads, they're looking something like this. I painted those. Those are beads that I painted. I bought them unfinished wood beads, and I painted them and put sealing on them myself. Um, Other beads, if you see beads and I didn't say where I got them from, chances are I got them from Hobby Lobby, Michael's, or at some point Joann's, or a subscriber have sent them to me. So I think what I'll start doing is maybe putting something in the description, kind of saying where the beads came from, doing something like that. But anyway, this is like really pretty. I like the way this looks already, even, all the colors. But I don't be doing anything, just beading the beads on a piece of cord, no big deal. And as long as, my thought is, as long as you guys can see what the finished piece looks like, that's the prize right there. As long as we can see what it looks like when I finish, that's good stuff. And then the idea is just to provide some type of, like ideas, jewelry making ideas. Because sometimes, we get a little block and it'd be like, okay, well, this is really pretty. Look at that. That's really pretty. And so I think what I'm going to do, I'm going to put one more bead. I think I'm not going to put this bead on here because if I put this smaller bead on here, it's going to make the bracelet too big. So I'm making it to be like for a 7.5 wrist. So if we do it like this, take that smaller bead off, and then this is what we'll get. So we'll do that. That's really pretty, right? Just the colors are just gorgeous. Wait, no, I don't even like that because what's happening, so I'm getting ready to tie it, but you can see on this side, there's not a bead right here on this side. So I'm going to go ahead and put a bead right here, and I know it's going to make it a little bigger, but I might be able to, because when you pull the cord does make it smaller. It pulls it in nice and tight. So let's see if we can make something happen. Because if I just do it like that, that's not going to be big enough. So this is what we'll do. We're going to go ahead and tie it. Oh, that looked like that'll probably work. Because once you start pulling the cord and tying it, and then I hurt my finger right here and I pull the skin off, so it's hard to tie the cord. Because anything hit that, it hurts. I'm going to do my best. And when I'm tying the knots, I like to tie a lot of knots, 2, 3, and then 1. Not necessarily in that order, but I like to tie a lot of knots because this is just me. Now tie them and burn them and glue them, you know, whatever you want to do. That's your preference. But for me, I like to tie big knots like what you can see, just knot. And the reason why I do that is because when I tie the knot big like that, what happens is it'll slide into the hole. So you can see the hole right there. So if I make this knot big enough to snugly fit inside that hole, that increases the security of the bracelet, you know, like to prevent it from coming apart because it's so snug inside of the bead, hopefully. And I've never had a problem with it because you remember, I wear my own bracelets. And I got bracelets 2, 3, 4 years ago. And I think anything, if you take care of it, you know, it lasts. So I'm going to cut a little extra off. And then you can see that nice big old knot. And we're just going to pull it right up into that big old hole. And it's nice and snug in there. And that's what we want. So take a look at this one. Okay, and that's what that looks like. And see what I mean when once we finish with the bracelet, you can see that 8mm bead just sits right against the tornado bead, and then we got the next bead, and it just rides, so it just stays right there, and everything just works nicely together. But if we would have just put one big bead up there, it wouldn't look like that. And then let's see what else we want to make to match with this. This is really pretty. I like this. Maybe we can use some brown beads. I don't know if the brown are really... I don't know. Brown look like it might work good, huh? Let's see. We might try to mix some of these brown beads. Let's do this. And see what we come up with. And I always pre-stretch the cord. And you know why you do that? Because at some point, if you don't, the cord is going to stretch. And then it'll stretch and it'll be too big for the person's wrist. So you always want to pre-stretch. Go ahead and cut that off. And let's see, do I want to use I got some orange. Oh, I got an orange bead right here. Let's see something. Oh, that don't fit. Ooh, I don't be liking when these beads don't fit. It's like, oh my goodness. Can somebody act right? There you go. Can somebody just act right? I need you right now. Let's see if this one will work. Yeah, good stuff. There we go. So that's what that looks like. And then I think what we can do is add, looks like that. That'll match. And then we'll put a couple of these beads. Go ahead with another brown bead. And let me see something. I want to put another one of these on and then see if these brown beads will look good. So let's see something. I don't think these are going to fit. Oh, that one did. Do I got another one up here? That's what I don't like. Now, some of the beads will work and then some of them don't work, and they're all the same bead. So why is it that your hole won't fit, but the rest of the holes will fit? Let's try a brown bead on here and see. Yeah, no, I don't like the brown. The brown is not gonna match with the lavender like that. I'm gonna use them. And then that's the thing. If it don't look good when I finish, that's okay. I'll just go ahead and, I'll take it apart. No biggie. And I'll finish it off with these beads right here. Yeah, that's a pretty bracelet. Yeah, I think that brown will work. And then I'm gonna put one last brown one on here, and I will put it on this side. Oh, my hands feel slippery. I had washed them. I was in there washing some dishes. That hurts my finger. And after you wash, you usually put some type of lotion on your hands. And I forgot. I was like, man, just thought about them. Be using the. All right, so I'm just tying the knots. Trying to make sure I get them nice and neat because I can't use this finger. That's really something when you're not able to use one of your fingers that you always use, or your hand or something. You see how valuable that little arm or finger or something is when you can't use it. Okay, so we're going to cut off the extra. And then we'll go ahead and you can see that, and we'll pull it right inside that hole, nice and snug. And then I think I like it with, that. Oh yeah, that could be a nice little set, and then we could do like a third. I wonder if these will match. Like a third. Let's make a third one. I'm going to use just 1 millimeter just in case I don't like it. We can always take it apart, because this bracelet right here, I really don't like it. I'm gonna probably end up taking it apart because I don't like the brown beads on there with it. And when I look at it, it matches, but it don't match. So to me, it matches, but it does not match, if that makes sense. I just don't like them on there. So I'm going to probably end up changing this bracelet out. And I'm going to use 1 millimeter for this bracelet. So just in case I don't like this bracelet, I can just, cut it apart. And I'm going to try with this right here. And we are going to use, let's go with one of these beads and see what we get. See if it matches. Just kind of mix those colors up in there. And see, bracelets are easy. It's not a whole lot to them, especially when you know pretty much. Oh, I could use these on here now because this is a smaller cord. Especially when you know which beads you're going to be using. It's not, difficult to do it all. I think the biggest thing is trying to figure out coordination, like which beads you're going to put together to try to make something, beautiful, very different. Oh, yeah, I think that'll work. So we'll do that. And then we got 2 more of these beads. We'll go ahead and use these. Wait, let's do this. We'll use these beads right here. And then we'll put this bead on. And then we will use this bead. And then we'll put this bead on. And I like the way that looks. You see how those painted beads match good with this glass bead? And I think these will all work together good. So if they do, yeah, this works good together. So let's check it out. Just doing triple, double knots. So I just do 1, 2, just pull it nice and snug. 1, 2. And remember, you don't have to do this. If you like to, tie your knot 1, 2 times or however you do it, and then put glue on it or burn it, that's up to you. It's like however you want to do what it is that you do. That's good stuff to me. That's just good stuff to me. I don't think anything that any of us do on any of these videos are law. Trust me. It's all about your creativity. Whatever you want to create, whatever you want it to look like, that's what makes it yours. That is literally what makes it yours. Okay, so we got this. And then, so that's the bracelet right there. Let me see. If I put, I'm going to put this one on first. And then I'll put this one on second. And then we'll put this one on last. Right? How beautiful are those colors? Just how beautiful are those colors, right? That's a beautiful wrist. And nails all done and carrying on, and just got on a beautiful whatever it is. And think about like summertime. Summertime, you go into a music festival and you got on maybe a pair of jeans, nice faded pair of jeans, a rip here or there, got on a beautiful white graphic t-shirt, whatever you want to say on the front of it, and your jewelry is popping all off of your arm, and hair might be pulled up, and you got your big nice earrings on, and your crossbody bag, and everything is just matching with your custom-made flip-flops, right? Sitting out there on the green, watching, listening, okay? Just making a statement. Life is good, and I am living free, okay? Good stuff, good stuff. Love it, love it, love it. But anyway, these are the 3. And then these are the 3 we went ahead and made with these beads that we painted last night.
A few moments later.
I'm almost tempted to put charms just around the whole bracelets, huh? Because I kind of like the way that they look. Let's do that. Because I had actually turned off the video, but we're just going to put charms all around it. Just a lot of different colors. Because you guys know I love me some charms. And I'm going to do this just to see what it looks like. Do I got charms all up here? No, Miss Darlene, you know you ain't got no charms up here, girl. What you talking about? I know. Thought I had a bag up here. Okay, so let's see. Something laying up here. Anything else up in here? Oh, here's something right here. Look, I can turn this into a charm. And we will take, I'm going to just cut this off. Grab this yellow one, put this one on here. Just put a bunch of charms on it and see what we get. Because charms add a lot of flavor to it. Sometimes, yay, sometimes no. Sometimes you need charms and sometimes you don't. I think when you're really trying to get that nice boho statement flair, it needs statements. I mean, it needs charms. Let's see what else we got. Let's throw this white one on here too. Put this one under here. It just adds so much more flair to it when it has the charms all over it, right? I like it with the charms. But anyway, that was my thought. I said, I'm going to go ahead and add some charms on here. So I did add the charms, and I do like the charms on it, but I'm not keeping 2 of the bracelets anyway. So either way, no matter what they look like, I'm going to be changing them up. All right, we'll talk.